That is the live analysis bell, and that is right. We are back. I am your host, Ernest Silva of the Into the Lab podcast. Of course, if you're joining us, which you don't have many, then you've got us queued up and ready to go. If you are going to be coming in late, you're going to see this intro late. That is perfectly fine as well. We have a lot scheduled for tonight. That is right. We have some NBA draft command center hype tonight. We took in your favorite players, and we've gone around the rumor mill. We've talked to some of the sports analysts. We've got the inside track to that. We are also going to talk about some NBA Finals action as well as your NFL top 10 fantasy quarterbacks for the 2021-2022 season. I've already introduced myself, but of course, this is brought to you by Blue Collar Media Group. That is right, Blue Collar Media Group. www.bluecollarmg.com is where you can go catch some of the latest and greatest action, as well as our wonderful BCMG stream team, which is on Twitch and Facebook gaming pages, and some of our greatest shows here on your Twitter platforms, Facebook platforms, and any streaming platform. If you want to know some of the inside tracks for NBA Draft, stay tuned with us, announcer. Bring us in right. All right, have you heard that man's voice? You're going cuckoo in the Cavessa. We don't have a live announcer, but I will tell you this. The man, the myth, the legend has joined us today. That's right. You elected him your general. That is right. Steve Reisner is joining us in the house. How's it going, bud?
I'm all right. I guess I decided I'd stay up late, get a little crazy on a Wednesday night, and talk to you about sports.
I'll tell you what, holy shit, is this a flash back in the past? We haven't been together by ourselves. I think we might have had a couple episodes where we're by ourselves, but not one featuring a lot of great content like this since I think the beginning of Into the Lab. So I am excited to be talking some shop and some rumors with you.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, let's get into it. All right, so before we really dive into our round one segment, let me grab your attention. That's right, folks. You have a chance to win some great prizes, possibly a scholarship for your youngins if you're down in beautiful Brownsville, Texas. That's right. The BCMG Expo, August 20th and 21st is down in Brownsville, Texas. We'll have live streamers, live shows, plenty of great action coming your way. Stay tuned for more announcements next week. We're going to feature a lot of great stuff, especially going into the NBA draft. So stay tuned for that to come. But announcer, why don't you ring that bell and let's start off round one correctly? All right, that's the virtual bell. And if you heard it, again, I would suggest to go see a doctor because we do not have that going on for our show. But we are going to talk some NBA
Still
draft.
got to get that cowbell.
We do have to get that cowbell. You're absolutely right. We have NBA Draft Command Center. We asked you guys in last week's episode, send in those player names. Talk to us about what those players you want to hear some inside information on. And so we dove into our different NBA analysts, got all the recent rumors and decided to chase them down. So here's what we have for you guys today. And we're going to start off with some great ones. But first, this is all brought to you by Taquito Express. That is right, Taquito Express down in the beautiful Brownsville, Texas, where the BCMG Expo will be. Taquito Express, all you can eat tacos for $7.99. So we are excited to be talking with you first. We're going to be talking NBA draft, and more importantly, which players have the latest rumors coming out. Steve is here for the looks because this is not his forte, but we will dive right into it. He is going to pose for this segment. But let's start off with the first one. The first one brought up to us was Cade Cunningham. So Cade Cunningham, the forward out of Oklahoma State, Davis Cordova. Shout out to Davis Cordova with the inside track, as well as some of the recent rumors. Most recently, the rumors that have come up is that Cade Cunningham is not a lock at number one. We don't know how true that is. But from recent analysis, Detroit has been shopping around that number one pick. They are not so sold on Cade Cunningham. Rumor has it they are working out Evan Mobley, Jalen Green, and Cade Cunningham, only those three players so far. And the Detroit front office has been listening to trade packages, including Houston, Oklahoma City, Washington, New Orleans, and Cleveland. So a lot of those picks in the lottery, especially in the top four, would be interesting to see if Cade doesn't go number one. I think that would be a steal for Houston.
I'm no like expert on any of these players, but having fielding phone calls about the number one overall pick, I wouldn't read too much into that.
Yeah, it's got to be lucrative for whatever team's going to be getting it.
You if someone's going to try to trade you for the number one overall pick, you listen to the offer and see what they're throwing at you. That's I wouldn't read much into that.
I definitely agree. Now, if you're Detroit, Steve, though, and you don't choose Cade Cunningham, right? All the hype you've heard about Cade Cunningham, I mean, you'd be crazy not to take Cade 1, right? Or am I wrong there?
I guess I don't want to. Kid's the only one I really know the most about, so yeah, I guess maybe. But like again, I barely watched any of the college basketball. I won my bracket. I'm just a genius.
You're just a
I just do
genius.
I just do things. Things just happen.
I think when you take a look at the Detroit Pistons, all the young core that they have, and pairing them with Jeremy Grant, I mean, it would be crazy not to have Cade Cunningham go #1 and join that unit, lead that unit in the future. And if you are any other team in the league, and Cade Cunningham were to fall to you, like the Houston Rockets or the Cleveland Cavaliers, or even the Toronto Raptors, if you trade up to 2, then yeah, you get Cade all day. But with Cade Cunningham, he's only working out for Detroit. There are no other teams working out Cade Cunningham. He is sold that he is going #1, and he's made that gamble with his agent. So you got to think that that is where he's going. It's #1 or bust for Cade. And if a team's going to trade up in that, I really think the only team I would even take serious in a trade up package would be Houston or Cleveland. I don't know if there's anybody else I would actually take a serious package for, unless OKC is just throwing the ship at you. Then I don't know what else. I don't know what other team I would make a deal for with Cade. But you asked for the Cade Cunningham rumors. We gave you those. The insight is he is not working out for any other team than whatever team has at #1 pick. So good luck to him. Let's move on. Jalen Green has been the topic of most conversation, and I got 4 requests for Jalen Green. Let's talk about Jalen and where he's been. Jalen Green has been traveling. He worked out in Miami. He's worked out over in Toronto. He made his trip down south to OKC, and now he's in Cleveland for a workout. Of course, he's worked out for Houston. The Houston Rocket front office was in Miami for that workout. So he has been working out in front of many front offices. I'll be honest with you. Most of the rumors out there is that he is going #2 to Houston, and analysts want to see him in Houston paired up with Kevin Porter Jr. Those are the recent conversations, but of course, the big one is that Detroit is not sold on Cade Cunningham, and they're very high on Jalen Green. Could Jalen go up to that #1 spot and be Detroit's pick? That may be the case in some eyes, but I mean, who knows at this point? All we can say is right now, Jalen Green looks like to be a lock at #2, which is Houston, and Evan Mobley seems to be that #3 pick, which is what we're going to talk about next, because his workouts have included Detroit, Houston, Cleveland, and Toronto, with Toronto really wanting Evan Mobley at #3. So we'll have to see what happens with those top 3 candidates. Let's go to some of you Texas folks, though, that really wanted to hear about UT and U of H's Quentin Grimes. So we'll start off with Quentin Grimes. Quentin Grimes had an NBA draft combine of his life. He ended up working out for Houston, Philly, the Clippers, the Lakers, and the Nuggets. And what was supposed to be an out of the draft type of pick, he ended up coming in with a huge staple with posting a 75% 3-point percentage in 4 games. So as you can see, Quentin Grimes is shooting the ball quite well. A 6'6" forward out of Houston who definitely knows how to play. For you as a Celtics fan, Steve, that doesn't sound too bad to add to your arsenal, doesn't it?
No, and he's got a fun name.
Yeah, Quentin Grimes, I love it. I love it. Yeah, he absolutely showed out. I don't know if you got to watch.
He sounds like a villain in like an '80s action movie or something. Like Quentin Grimes. I don't know. Like no, it's more like a '90s. That's more of a '90s action movie. Like Nicolas Cage would play him.
Yeah, well, I don't think he'd play him, but if you've seen him, the man is absolutely a terror on the court. He led his team not only in assists and rebounds, but also in points. And I mean, if you watch some of his highlights, I wish we had a cue and a roll for it. But Quentin Grimes was absolutely a stud, not only on the court, but also in the interview afterwards. I mean, just everything you'd want to hear from a player, and just ecstatic for him. So I hope he gets drafted in the 2nd round. If the rumors are true, then he probably would be drafted somewhere in the latter part of the second round. So the Clippers, Lakers, Nuggets, or Sixers would get a steal, and the Sixers really have the crosshairs on him. So doesn't surprise me. A 6'6" wing who shoots a three, Daryl Morey all over that. So, and Daryl Morey loves that second round. So God knows that's what's going to happen. But let's move on to the UT Longhorns. That's right. Kai Jones and Greg Brown are the guys that we want to talk about. Kai Jones, the forward out of UT, has worked out for teams like the Spurs, the Pacers, the Hornets, the Thunder, and the Rockets. But big links to the Spurs as the Spurs are looking to revamp after their contracts are withering out for those big men. Kai Jones to San Antonio or Kai Jones to OKC is very intriguing. OKC at 16. I wouldn't mind that. Kai Jones kind of fits the OKC rebuild. He's got tons of talent. If you're not familiar with Texas basketball, a fantastic forward that took away Greg Brown's minutes, who we're going to talk about next. But a real big man down low. He averaged 10.6 rebounds in the tournament. Can score the ball. He averaged a double-double in the tournament. Defensive threat, has the length. I think Kai Jones is a stud. So OKC would be lucky to have him. Greg Brown is the wild card here, who would fall into the 20s. Worked out for teams like Orlando, Chicago, Houston, and the Pelicans. And when we talk about Greg Brown, we're talking about a forward who really underperformed in UT, but continues to be a factor. I know Houston's just stuck in the mind right now, but continues to be a factor on the court because his ball handling is so unique, and he's definitely a sharpshooter for a big man. So Greg Brown, definitely something to watch out for as somebody who can develop. That's not there right now, but would be an asset. So those are your 6 updates for your NBA Draft Command Center. Something unique. I said we'd do it for you. We're living up to that promise. But let's go to something that's a little bit more in our repertoire. That's right, the NBA Finals Game 1 React. And
Here I go. I can talk about this.
There we go. I don't know if we expected the Suns and the Bucks to be that game, right? I don't know if we're talking about this, 2 months before, and that's kind of the big thing, Death Valley or Sun Valley, the Sun. We're not even completely sure what valley it is anymore. Valley under the sun, that's what it is. And so we have the Suns really kind of take care of business against the Bucks in Game 1. Steve, CP3 played out of his mind. 32 points, look fluid.
He's locked in. He's been playing out of his mind this whole playoffs, besides when he was out with COVID. Not with COVID, COVID protocol. CP3 has been locked in, dude.
And it wasn't only CP3, right? I mean, Devin Booker looked great. Cam Johnson looked great.
DeAndre Ayton, man.
Beast.
DeAndre Ayton has been on a fucking tear these whole fucking playoffs. CP3 robbed him of his 20th rebound last night, but dude, this is like, I mean, how old is Ayton?
The guy's only 20 years old, man.
Yeah, that's I thought he was. I thought he was like 22, but I mean, dude, you're doing this. I mean, either way, you're doing this.
Yeah, you're right. 22 years old. 22 years old.
You're doing this in the finals at 22 years old, man.
Like, 22 points, 19 rebounds.
And he's been having 18 rebound, 20 point, 18 rebound games all playoffs. All playoffs. I love the way the Suns have been playing. I didn't think they'd take care of business that handedly. Game 1. I mean, the Bucks were in it, but again, I only watched the highlights and looked through the box score, read a few things, whatever. That was on way too late for me. So maybe you'd know more. But I mean, it looked like the Suns were feeling in control of the game fairly well from the most part of it.
Once the Suns kind of took off in the first half, they didn't really look back. There was a time where they were up by almost 20 points, and then the Bucks came back on a bit of a run, made it a 9-point game.
Yes. There was the Bucks had a little run there. I saw at the end,
and then the Suns took off with it. But I think the big deal, I mean, DeAndre Ayton, 22 and 19. You can't ask for more from a big man, especially a big man that was kind of undersold, like it's Luka and Trey's draft. DeAndre Ayton's kind of left in the dust, and then all of a sudden now he's the one in the finals before both of them. But DeAndre Ayton played fantastic. I mean, we'll have to see if Dario Saric being taken out with what we're being reported as a torn ACL in his right knee. So he's out for the series. And to see what that does for the big man rotation for Phoenix. But I think other than the big storyline of CP3 playing above his game, right, playing sharp, it's got to be that Giannis actually performed after having to go through almost 6 evaluations before tip-off.
Dude, I have said this 100 times. Corey Brooks, who's just joined BCMG, if he's watching, has said this. He's torn his ACL, actually. I have no idea watching that video how Giannis did not tear his ACL. That was not a hyperextended knee in that video I watched. I watched a bunch of times. I've hyperextended my knee. That's not it. Apparently, that's just how it is. And then he did that to his knee, only hyperextending it. Then he went out 20 points, 17 rebounds in that fucking chase down block. I don't want to see. The only thing now is that like you already got Bucks fans on Twitter that are like, oh, Giannis clearly wasn't at 100%. Dude, he's at enough fucking percentage. If he did that, he's at enough.
Yeah, I mean, he played 35 minutes. If he was on a minutes restriction and he wasn't playing the full game, I'd get it. But obviously, he's healthy enough. Again,
if you have 20 points, 17 rebounds in 35 minutes, you're fucking healthy.
And the thing is he cleared 6 medical evaluations and a pregame workout evaluation by the NBA staff. He was good to go.
Dude, I can't clear one medical evaluation. If they did a medical evaluation in my job, I'd be done.
So we're talking about the NBA Finals, and I don't want to get too far away, but here's a big debate, and I have to ask you, okay, which is probably going to cause a lot of debate with everybody watching, but here we go. A term came up. It was an ESPN radio conversation. I don't remember the show. Might have been, who knows? But the question came up: what jersey is he wearing? And it's interesting because I debated this, and I heard the debates, and I heard the call-ins, and I thought, I don't know. Matter of fact, it might have been Greeny's show. So here we go. You are an NBA fan, and you get to see this player, and you see, okay, Hall of Fame, what jersey is that player wearing? And tell me what your first reaction is, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. LeBron James.
Cleveland.
I am all about Cleveland. I absolutely right. I'm glad we don't differ on that. All right, ready? Chris Paul.
So, probably the Clippers. I just have a feeling. But
we agree on that one too so far.
Maybe Phoenix if he sticks around there for a few more years and they do win the title, whatever. Maybe. But so probably the Clippers.
If he wins a title this year only and goes to LA, like the Lakers, and plays with LeBron, do you see him in a Suns jersey or a Clippers jersey?
Oh, probably a Clippers jersey.
So you're still a Clippers jersey, even though he never won a championship there or got past the second round?
Yeah, I mean, it's not Houston.
No, I agree. No, I'm not for Houston. Matter of fact, for this,
I guess I
am the Clippers also.
I mean, maybe you could maybe do New Orleans, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like that was the most successful stretch of Chris Paul's career, even though like they didn't really win anything. Like the Lob City Clippers, maybe it was like the most memorable.
I think so too. I think throwing up alley oops left and right to Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah, exactly.
The staple of who Chris Paul was, right? The mid-range killer. I mean, that's kind of him. Yeah. Right? That's kind of him. But he never won anything. I think that's the big argument, is that there wasn't a winning definition to Chris Paul in LA.
He really never made like a conference finals with the Clippers?
He was up 3-1 on the Dwight Howard, James Harden Rockets and blew that 3-1 lead. And Houston ended up winning that series after they beat the Spurs in 7. If you don't remember that. In 2000, I think it's 2015. Could be wrong, but I think it's 2015. Yeah, 2015. And then Houston went on to lose 4-1 to the Warriors. But but yeah, so never got past the second round. So they were on the cusp of it, but never got. That's why the Clippers making the Western Conference Finals this year was such a big deal because they won their first conference finals game ever.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let me make it a little bit harder. Ray Allen.
The team that his numbers should that he should go in the Hall of Fame for doesn't exist anymore.
I do think it should be Seattle as well, but I'm going to say it's Miami. I think his clutch shot put him over the edge, won him their first title.
Yeah, I guess it would probably end up being Miami. I mean, it's not Boston. I say that's the Boston guy. I don't think he'd do Boston.
If I had to see Ray Allen in the Hall of Fame, I have to say it's Miami. Right now, it's Miami. He won the ring there. He won the rings there. Is that 2 there?
I think he had 1.
1. So he got his ring there. He was clutch. He was crucial. Ray Allen, Miami. We're probably gonna get a lot of hate in the comments. Let's get 2 more here. I threw an extra one as a wild card. Here's one that's gonna throw you off. Kawhi Leonard.
Oh my God.
Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard's in the Hall of Fame. Where is that? What jersey is he wearing?
Not Toronto.
Why not, though? He won a ring.
It was 1 season.
2019.
Yeah, it was 1 season.
He still won a ring.
It was half a season.
Is it San Antonio then?
Yeah, it would be I think it would be San Antonio before he won a ring in San Antonio.
1. He's got 1 in each place.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think it would be San Antonio. Did he even spend a full season in Toronto?
Yeah, we spent 1 season in Toronto.
Oh, yeah, but I think it's San Antonio.
I think a lot of Raptors fans are going to say no, it's Toronto.
Well, of course, Raptors fans are going to say no, it's Toronto.
I tend to agree because I would be a little slighted by Toronto. He didn't stay.
I don't agree with Canadians.
Oh my gosh! I gotta admit, I'd like to see Kawhi in San Antonio. A lot of San Antonio fans don't like Kawhi Leonard, so I don't think they would. I don't think they could care any less than what we're talking about. But I do think that Kawhi in San Antonio probably is the right call. But I think he's more memorable for his lead role in the Toronto championship. So I might lean Raptors as the uniform for Kawhi.
I will agree with that. That is the more memorable point of his career. Is not that he was the Finals MVP on the
pop
with all the aging Hall of Famers on the Spurs, but that he left there and then he was like, "Hey, Toronto, I'll bring you guys to a championship," and then screw you.
I haven't had you on the show.
Siakam can go spin move shit.
The spinner. I haven't asked you because you haven't really been on the show, but Kawhi Leonard, he playing in LA next year?
The Clippers?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I
think he's gone.
I think he may be gone too.
I think he's gone. I think he signs a max somewhere.
No, do you think Paul George sticks around?
Probably
if he
not.
Leaves?
You blow it up.
Yeah, they blow it all up, all over.
Yep.
I mean, Paul George or Kawhi could definitely sign with the Celtics for the veteran minimum.
Let's give you one last one. James Harden, what jersey is he wearing?
Oh God. I don't know. Brooklyn's not going to be able to pay him, are they?
Probably not. I mean, if they do, they go straight luxury on all 3 players. So I think they get rid of one, and they may get rid of Kyrie, but they got to get rid of one.
Yeah. So they. Harden. Lakers.
Yeah, it's Houston for me too, bud. It's Houston for me too. I know that's like vinegar coming out of your mouth. No. I'm not asking where he goes. I'm asking what jersey he's wearing in the Hall of Fame. Sorry, I guess.
What jersey he's wearing in the Hall of Fame? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, it's Houston.
It's Houston. Yeah.
It's obviously Houston.
If he wins a ring somewhere, and he only spends 1 season there, does that change your mind on James Harden?
I don't think it would. Not this Brooklyn scenario.
Right.
Like, if he won a ring with, I don't know, with them, like a cheap ring. I think being the face of the franchise in Houston for so long would mean more to him.
Okay, so with that being said, does KD wear a Golden State jersey, an Oklahoma City jersey, or the next team he wins a ship with?
Okay, well, Oklahoma City fans don't want him to wear the Oklahoma City jersey. I don't know if Golden State fans want him to wear the Golden State jersey.
It's a Durantula. He's not liked anytime he's there.
Brooklyn fans like him right now.
So you're gonna go Brooklyn?
I guess. I don't know.
I think I have to go with Golden State. He won the.
I'd like to say Golden State, but I don't know. He's so fucking immature that he's a weirdo.
Maybe his Twitter account gets into the Hall of Fame.
I saw something early. I saw something early about Steve Kerr fucking having to have a sit down with him about getting into arguments with kids on Twitter about where he stands in like the all time debate. And I'm like, dude, that's so bad.
That's perfect. That's everything KD. Although I claimed KD in college, I don't think I claimed KD past OKC. That guy is killing me. Unless he comes to Houston, then I'm all KD. All right, let's talk about some football. Let's get the blood boiling a little bit here. We are going fantasy football. That's right, round one extra time, the NFL focus. I asked Steve, the General Reisner, to give me his top 10 QB points per PPR, or points per reception. But in the PPR, top 10 quarterbacks you would take in the 2021-2022 season. We put all the quarterbacks down on a sheet. I gave them some resource to look at before the show. I said, spur of the moment, let's do it. Let's introduce fantasy football. It's time. It's off season. SFB 11's going on. We're all hyped up. Who are your top 10 quarterbacks? And so we're going to start with our number 10. Let's go backwards here. Who is number 10 for Steve Reisner?
Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott for the Dallas Cowboys.
Looking into the season. This is again, people, we all stop fucking yelling at me. This is my way too early spur of the moment. Ernest just woke me up out of bed through this topic on me. So, but yes, right now, I think looking at the season with what Dallas has, I will put Dak as my number 10 fantasy quarterback.
Fair enough.
Until Dallas falls apart.
Steve is going number 10 for Dak Prescott. Again, we are doing this based off of passing attempts, passing completions, what will get you the most points, as well as the fact of no injuries in the season, where these guys end up. I'm going number 10, Deshaun Watson for me. 2 games out to 4 games out, depending on what you want to hear. The most recent rumors is that it's on the smaller end, so 2 games out for Deshaun Watson. He is my number 10, top 10 quarterback going into 2021. He may be with the Houston Texans for a while. He'll utilize those weapons and get traded somewhere with value. Deshaun Watson's number 10 for me. Number 9, Steve.
Damn it. Brady.
Tom Brady goes number 9. And surprisingly, I have Tom Brady at number 9. So that's perfect. I think Tom Brady will be a top 10 quarterback. Has tons of weapons still in Tampa Bay. Will utilize them. Barring any sort of injury, there's no reason why Tom Brady wouldn't be a top 10 quarterback. He may not get the yards in the ground, but he definitely spreads the ball around and keeps the ball in his possession. I mean, why else, right? I mean, that's basically their offense is Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Number 8. Go ahead, Steve.
I have Justin Herbert.
I have Lamar Jackson, so we're a little different there. Why Justin Herbert at 8? Bless you.
Sorry, it's usually 3 when I sneeze. I like that kid. I liked him a lot last season. He really impressed me as a rookie. I don't think he's going to have one of those sophomore slumps. And I think they have a decent amount of weapons over there in the Chargers for him to throw to. They just don't really have anyone to run the ball. They have Austin Eckler, who's more of a guy to catch it anyway. So, yeah, yep. I like Justin Herbert this year, especially having the full starting job for the full season. He put up pretty good numbers last year for a kid who didn't have the job the whole season.
Yeah, I like Justin Herbert a lot. I'm a little bit higher on him than you are. I'll get to my points on him. Lamar Jackson is my number 8. Lamar saw his numbers fall just a little bit in the last season, but the passing of the deep ball ended up being a huge defensive adjustment and one that he couldn't really adapt to towards the latter part of 2020 and the 2021 season. So I'd like to see Lamar Jackson evolve his game a little bit more. I know he's young and he gets the yards, but to put that all together, we'll have to see what kind of year Lamar Jackson comes up with. Steve, what about number 7?
I have Kyler Murray at number 7, and I just realized that I only did 9 quarterbacks on my list. So I have a top 9 list, Ernest.
No, you better find another quarterback and plug him in, Steve.
All right, Mac Jones is number 10.
Oh my God. Okay, so really number 7 is Justin Herbert for you then.
Yeah, number
Is that what
7
you're
is
saying?
Justin Herbert. Yeah, I guess.
Oh
Damn
my
it.
gosh. All right, so number 7 for both of us is going to be Justin Herbert because Justin Herbert is my number 7. Justin Herbert has the weapons. He has the deep threats. He has the tight end. He's got everybody there, and
And he's got the arm.
that is absolutely correct. He's got the poise. He's got the physique. He's Ben Roethlisberger 2.0 in that system. He's going to strive. The more experience he gains, the better he's going to get. If you're in a dynasty league, you grabbed a steal if you got Justin Herbert last year. This year, if you're in redraft leagues, go grab him. He's going to be a guy to stash and keep for the rest of your life, at least while you're playing fantasy. Hopefully, you don't die when you're in your 50s, but who knows? But let's move on, Steve. What's your number 6?
Hold on. You got me thinking about dying in my 50s, man. Kyler Murray.
That's right. You did choose Kyler Murray, the Cardinal quarterback. Why Kyler Murray?
Well, I mean, there's the rushing aspect. The little man, the little midget running around on the football field. He gets like a little burst of light and takes off running. And, I mean, obviously he's got some weapons over there. I got a coach who loves him and wants to throw the ball. So, yeah, I like Kyler Murray in Arizona.
Kyler Murray is my number 6 as well. That's right. The dual threat is totally worth it. Pair him up with DeAndre Hopkins.
I mean, great minds think alike.
Yeah,
man.
I don't know how this happened because it was completely random. I threw you on the spot, but right now we've gotten 3 of the same picks because of your Mac Jones number 10. So we are rolling here in San Antonio.
That's subject to change. That's just the first name I could think of.
This is definitely going to be a different top 5 because I already know one of them is different. But let's go, Steve. Drum roll, please. Who is your number 5?
Number 5, I had. Let me pull up my list. Aaron Rodgers.
So we do differ a little bit. Now, Aaron Rodgers is a bit of a wild card. Why would you tell people to draft Aaron Rodgers as your 5th best overall?
Well, I don't know where he's going to be. Still don't know where he's playing. So, I know he's coming off an MVP season. I still don't know if he's playing in Green Bay next year. So, yeah.
Yep,
that's why I got to put him back.
I went with another dual threat quarterback. Number 5, top 10 fantasy quarterback for me is going to be Russell Wilson. I think Russell Wilson puts in and add a cue to the music. We're in the top 5 quarterbacks in fantasy, and just Luke makes his.
Hey, thanks, Luke, for coming in for the last fucking 2 minutes of the episode.
Right in.
What is going on, brother?
The Collinsworth. That's instead of the Collinsworth slide. So Luke.
Don't put my name with that clown. I don't want to hear that shit.
Wow. Collinsworth, Luke. Wow.
More like that.
Luke, I'm going to put you on the spot, though. You got 5 slots. Top 5 fantasy quarterbacks for next season. I need your number 5.
My number 5?
If you want to write it down, we'll give you 30 seconds. If you got to write down 5 of your top 5 quarterbacks.
No, because I've always picked him. It's always Russell Wilson. He's in there. I mean, he's always my fantasy quarterback. So.
All right, so he's going to ride with my pick. I picked Russell Wilson at number 5 myself.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers for Steve. And I'll just update these as we go. We go to number 4, top fantasy quarterbacks for 2021-2022. Steve, who is number 4 for you?
Boom! I got Russell Wilson.
He's got
number 4.
He's got Russell Wilson at number 4. I'm going to go to you next, Luke. Who's your number 4?
A-Rod.
Aaron Rodgers. I actually like the way this is going because this is commonality amongst us. I also have Aaron Rodgers at number 4, so a bit of a swap for us two, with me and Luke against Steve here. But
Swoopy swoop.
Aaron Rodgers, a big reason why Aaron Rodgers is not a top 3 is because of the lack of inconsistency of where he's actually going to frickin' play next year. Even Tom Brady trolling him was perfect, right?
Oh, it's awesome. I love that Tom Brady
he's
has a Twitter.
He's the
I
leader of the
love
Green Bay
it.
Packers, I think. I don't know if that guy is. So, that's right. But okay, so Russell Wilson was number 4 for you, Steve, and Aaron Rodgers is number 4. Oh, well, I have him as 5 there, but he's number 4 for us. Talk to us the mindset of Russell Wilson. Everything we said, just a step higher. Is that basically it?
Yeah, pretty much.
So our number 4 picks, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers. This is where I think we're going to start to differ. Number 3 overall, Steve. Who's your number 3 pick?
Lamar Jackson.
All right, so you're way higher in Lamar Jackson than I am, and we'll go to that.
The guy's the guy's gonna get 1,000 yards rushing. 1,000 yards rushing is fucking huge for a quarterback, even if he only throws fucking 2,500 fucking yards and still can't figure out how to throw the ball right.
That is very true. Luke, who is your number 3 quarterback in fantasy points in the NFL this season?
I'm going with the quarterback that was drafted number 1 overall in baseball and football, Kyler Murray at number 3.
Kyler Murray at number 3. So Kyler Murray, I'll just give you the update. Kyler Murray was number 6 for both of us. And so my number 3 is going to be a shocker for Steve because he hates him, but it is going to be Josh Allen. Josh Allen is
wait until you see my number 2.
Oh, shoot. He's got him at 2. Crap. Josh Allen hits 3 for me. So Lamar Jackson we talked about already, but obviously dual threat quarterback, probably top notch. In Steve's eyes, the best dual threat quarterback in the NFL. As for maybe not, I'm getting looks. But as for Luke, Kyler Murray, the dual threat quarterback we talked about earlier, that definitely on the up and up, just along with Justin Herbert. So definitely like Kyler Murray with the revamped line. I am absolutely all about Josh Allen this season. He's almost my number 2 quarterback, but I couldn't put him ahead my number 2 quarterback. But Josh Allen, another dual threat quarterback who has the cannon of an arm, leads the Bills offense. Bills still always interchange with the running back position, so Josh Allen is their top running back and their QB. So you got to say Josh Allen gets up there in points. Boys, going next, Luke, who's your number 2?
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen, number 2 for Luke. Why Josh Allen, Luke?
Just because they have no running game. Josh Allen is their running game. So
yeah,
Zach Moss is not a good running back, and Mike Singletary had one good year, and he is now.
Zach Moss is a running back.
Yeah, Zach Moss is a running back, and Mike Singletary had a very great year. He had to play for the JPP Finger Bangers and won me a title, but he only had one good year, so he's fallen off the face of the earth too. Josh Allen is the.
He had one good year, then he sucked. Now he's dead to Luke.
That is very true. Steve, I'm going to guess.
Once you're on that list, it's over.
Steve, I'm going to guess Josh Allen is your number 2.
Josh Allen is my number 2.
All right. Well, boys and girls, let me teach you something.
The Bills will not win the AFC East.
Did we lose Steve? We lost Steve. It was rightfully so because
he was talking about the AFC East, and the internet was like, "Nope, you're done."
That was actually Roger Goodell cutting off our feed.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Steve.
Absolutely.
This is definitely podcast gate.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott's my number 2. Dak Prescott's a dual threat quarterback. He's definitely top 3 when it comes to the run game. In my opinion, when he's healthy, he's going to be throwing for over 4,000 yards at least. He's got the offensive weapons. If Dallas is playing from behind or playing in close games like we probably will see all year because their defense is not the best, Dak Prescott for me is just going to get the stats, and before he left last season, I mean, he was leading the NFL in yards by over 1,000 yards, and he was the yard leader through week 6, even though he only played 3.5 games. So it just goes to show that the offense in Dallas runs through Dak Prescott. Yep. And so Dak Prescott for me is just number 2 overall. Yep, I don't think we need to put it on the board, but I think overall number 1 is Patrick Mahomes. So we don't even have to talk about it, but let's just say why. Patrick Mahomes is everything Kansas City, and he runs the deep threat as well as gets the yards on the ground. It's clutch situations. In close games, he's throwing. In blowout games, he's throwing to the end of the third, if not some of the close yardage in the fourth. When it comes to statistical output, Patrick Mahomes has been number 1 quarterback for years. So
Correct.
there is nobody else. Some leagues are just one with Patrick Mahomes. So
Yeah.
if you're anything, the real debate probably for most is Prescott, Allen, or Jackson, because you'll have that crazy full take Mahomes in the first round.
Yeah.
And so in my eyes, it's Prescott. In y'all's eyes, it would be Allen. And then for me, it's Allen would be that next choice, and for you for you, it'd be Murray. Murray would be up there as that third choice. So where do you have Prescott in your top 5? I am, or your top 10? I have to ask.
He was at 6.
He was at 6. Okay.
He would be at 6. I don't watch him unless he's in Pittsburgh, so I don't really see him that often. That's the problem with most of the sports at least on the Eastern side. I don't see a lot of, unless it's in the AFC, I don't really see a lot of those games. So I don't really see NFC teams that often unless they're playing Pittsburgh. So I really don't know. I guess it really all depends on how he bounced back from this ankle. I mean, you're going to know within that first probably 3 to 4 game stretch what kind of Dak you're going to get for the rest of the year.
Yep, and hopefully nothing else happens to him. Just to give you a rundown on my top 10 so you can hear it. 1, Mahomes. 2, Prescott. 3, Allen. 4, Rodgers. 5, Wilson. 6, Murray. 7, Herbert. 8, Jackson. 9, Brady. 10, Watson, depending on the suspension.
Yeah, that he might be a steal, honestly. If he doesn't, I'm not going to say if he doesn't get anything out of it, he's going to get something out of it. But not a lot of people are going to take that risk of taking up a full quarterback slot with him. Just might play this year or might not play this year. Who knows?
Yep, you're absolutely correct. And that actually ends today's episode. Is the last topic. Luke slid right in there. Special thanks to the general for joining us. It says his last pick was Mahomes in a private message, so we absolutely had you there, Steve. Yeah. But thank you to all your lapsers for coming out. It was a short episode today, but we really appreciate your following, appreciate your input, and of course keep listening. Today was a filler episode. Next week, draft trivia. Bunch of giveaways. We are excited, and we start that countdown to the BCMG Expo. Don't forget August 20th, 21st. We appreciate you guys coming out. Just Luke, tell people where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Hearts on Hockey. I'm at the end of my year. I'm watching the Stanley Cup Finals right now. The Montreal Canadiens are trying to fight back this very heavily high-powered Tampa Bay offense. It's 3-1 in the series right now. It's nothing at the end of the first period. So I'm about at my wit's end with hockey, and now it looks like we're going to hop right into college and pro. OTAs, not OTAs, mandatory training camps start next month. So I can't wait. Honestly, it's our year, Ernest. It's starting to become our year here towards the end. So I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm definitely hyped. I'm ready for the new season. I'm ready to get things going. Everything. I'm ready for the new season to be regular again. No more COVID asterisks. No more worried about that. So awesome stuff. Just thank you for joining us late. I mean, just joining us, period, man. You've been consistent with the last weeks as we're transitioning the summer off season. Everybody's taking off.
Yeah.
But thank you guys so much. Give a listen. Give us a shout out. Share our message here. We appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of the week, and I hope you don't have too much of a 4th of July lull.